And joining us now, Dr. Charles Zelden. He is a professor in the Department of History and Political Science at Nova Southeastern University. More than half of Florida's voters, at least it's showing so far, disapprove of the president's performance. But it's, still very early on. Is this a concern so far for his campaign?
Well, it's always a concern when your numbers are low. But the thing that I say about Florida, it's not about who people want or don't want. It's about who shows up. There's always been more people with opinions than who show up for elections in Florida. So Florida is always about get out the vote. It's always about getting your base to show up. If the president can get his base out, then it comes down to 3 or 4%. Whoever gets that 3% wins the state.
Why do you think he chose Florida to make this announcement? And specifically, why do you think he chose Orlando? Is it because of that I-4 corridor that we hear so much about?
Yeah, he chose Florida for the simple reason that he simply can't win the presidency, ruin the presidency, without Florida. The math just goes against him if he loses all those electoral votes to the Democrats. And he chose Orlando because if you're going to win Florida, you've got to win the I-4 corridor. South Florida is going to vote in its way about 60-40 to Democrat. North Florida is going to go about 80-20 Republican. It's how this middle of the state votes that determines who wins. And that's why we always have close elections in the state.
We sure do.
And even just yesterday on the eve of this big announcement in Orlando, he had tweeted about plans to ramp up deporting undocumented immigrants in our country. Do you think that is a winning message here in Florida? Well,
it's definitely going to be a winning message, say, in North Florida and possibly Central Florida. I'm not so sure how much it's going to play in South Florida, however. It depends on people's attitudes. Immigration is divisive. It's something that everyone has a strong opinion on. And generally, there's very little middle ground to convince people. So essentially what he's doing is he's trying to get his base riled up to come out and vote for him. The president's making a calculation. If I can get my voters to show up, all of them, I can win enough votes in enough states to re-win the presidency.
Okay, so next week we're going to see the Democrats in town. What's your take on what's happening on the Democratic side? Some people are saying the Democrats are running a little bit too far to the left, and that may be helping Donald Trump. Is there truth to that?
It might, but the truth is we don't know where the Democrats are going to end up. They're in a winnowing phase right now. Right now, they're not even really debating for the primaries. They're debating to see who's going to survive to get to the primaries in February. At this point, the numbers will shrink depending on who goes away and who stays. Then we'll begin to see the ideological layout within the Democrats. There'll be a choice, a spectrum, and then it'll be up to the voters in the primaries to decide which version of the Democratic Party they want to pit against Donald Trump.
Well, Dr. Zelden, as you mentioned, immigration is different in North Florida versus here in South. Is there any issues, maybe one or two, that you think overall in the state people really care about?
Well, healthcare, definitely. This is a state in which we have a lot of elderly, a lot of people who have a lot of health needs, and healthcare is a winning argument to either side if they can make their case to the voters. Immigration clearly has interest of everyone. It's just a question of how it breaks down, and beyond that, it's really all about Donald Trump.
One last question. You think we'll hear any surprises tonight? You think this will be a rah-rah speech? Will he attack all those Democrats? He's got so many to pick from. You think he'll focus on Joe Biden?
There is no way that the president isn't going to take jabs at anyone he conceives of as an opponent or an enemy. That's just his style. So depending on how he goes after, and it will definitely be Biden, it'll probably be Harris, it'll definitely, I think, be Warren. Depending on who he takes the jabs at, that's who he thinks has a chance of running against him. But the real question is his message positive? This is what I want to do for you, or is it negative? This is what you need to fear, and this is why you need to vote for me, because otherwise the other guy's going to come in and do horrible things. Depending on how he presents it, there'll be a different vibe coming out of it.
We'll be watching for that tonight. Thank you.
For sure.
My
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.